Well, guys, today we are looking at my brand new Honda Trail 125, and this thing is an absolute beast. You essentially have to ride it at wide open throttle wherever you go, and you'll max out around 45 miles per hour uphill and 63 miles per hour downhill. This thing's a blast to ride, so let's get on it and let's go down this trail a little bit and see exactly how this thing rides. So back in late December, I was searching on the internet and I came across something called a new old stock closeout, which this is a 2024 Honda Trail. It had been sitting on the dealer floor probably for 2 years because it's 2026 right now. And that week, the week before New Year's, I went, checked out this bike, and I got a really great deal on it, $3,800. And yes, I do know that this thing is not fast at all, and I know that it is not meant to be a long distance, high speed interstate tour, but for the trails and the area that I'm in, I figured this could be the perfect way for me to get back into motorcycling. I rode motorcycles primarily throughout my entire 20s, and I ended up getting into bicycle riding in my 30s. And the reason that's important is one thing I learned about riding bicycles on the highway, your country roads, your 55 mile per hour roads, is you learn to move over when you're not going very fast so nobody runs you over. Well, this bike right here gives you almost a very similar feel. I go down the road, I've got this thing absolutely ripped and pegged. I'll be going 48 miles per hour at wide open throttle, and it is sufficient. But as soon as a big truck or something gets behind me, I wait for the next passing zone and I let them go. I don't want to block anybody, hold anybody back. But this thing really thrives on these back roads right here, especially these little dirt trails. I'm gonna go somewhere between 10, maybe 20 miles per hour on one of these roads. And for the most part, it handles really well. I still do have the stock tires on it, and the stock tires are, unfortunately, I think, not very good on loose gravel. So the terrain I'm on right now, they're perfect. This kind of flatter, smoother, well-packed dirt road, very good. But as soon as I hit a loose pack or a freshly graveled, like 2-inch gravel road, this thing does get kind of squirrely. Not a huge deal, but what I wanted to do again was just kind of get out, introduce you guys to the new trail hog, Honda Trail 125. Absolute nuts. And just like any other psychopath, I already lost my mind and I bought a brand new exhaust because why not put a slightly wider open exhaust on the bike? And this thing, I did have to order it from Japan. It has this kind of loop effect right here where it comes out of the head. It sounds really good, but it led me to my first kind of concern with the bike. And I wish I had put a little bit more break-in miles on it before I did this exhaust change, because if you can see right here in the screen, my engine oil temperature is running about 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is actually not that bad. The first time I ripped this thing wide open on the highway, I was hitting close to 290 degrees Fahrenheit on that engine oil temperature, but it turns out that that engine oil temperature is actually close to the head, and it reads slightly higher because it is so close to the maximum point of heat. And so it did worry me at first. Hey, why am I hitting such a high temperature engine oil for an air-cooled engine? Should run around 250 degrees Fahrenheit, but I'm getting close to 290, and that alarmed me. But now that I've been riding a little bit, it's definitely not as alarming as you might imagine. But love that exhaust. It sounds really good. It's also not super loud, which is a really good thing for me because I want to be heard, but I don't want to be obnoxious. If I'm leaving the house at 4 a.m. on the motorcycle, I don't want to wake up my neighbors and bother them. So this is actually the perfect exhaust for that. I did spend $3,800 on this little motorcycle plus tax, and there was a little bit of confusion there. I don't know if it was my fault or the dealer's fault, but when I first went in to go talk to them, I said, hey, what's the price? What are the dealer fees and all this kind of stuff? And the young lady that helped me out was like, hey, there's no dealer fees. And what I heard was no dealer fees, end of story. But she did actually say when we were talking that there was a docking fee. I just didn't realize it until after the fact. So when I went in to go do the payment and I saw the price from $3,800 to $4,100, I was like, no way, this is not happening. We agreed on $3,800, and luckily for me, the dealer, the finance or the manager or whatever said, you know what, we'll pull that document fee off and we're gonna give this to you for $3,800. And that satisfied me. That's how I got the bike for such a great deal. Now, they did have a brand new one, 2025 model sitting right next to it, and like I said, it's 2026 now. Those ones were full price, and I want to say it was $43.99 plus all the dealer fee or the docking fee, however you want to kind of call that. And so for me, I basically saved about $1,000 by buying a bike that's essentially been sitting on the floor for, you know, at least a year, if not 2 years. Another kind of interesting fact about how this bike handles is it is called the Honda Trail. I am on a trail right now, and I am kind of almost at the limits of the suspension, and I'm really just kind of bumbling around. I'm not going too fast. I'm going about 10 miles per hour, and the suspension's really meant for, I feel it's more of a city-oriented riding posture. I would say that this bike is probably designed for like Uber Eats or some kind of delivery or something like that. It doesn't have any clutch, so I can upshift, downshift without using my left hand, which it's super convenient for maybe a beginner. I am an experienced rider. It has been a while since I rode, but the concern that I have with not having a clutch, specifically for slow speed riding, is when you do slow speed riding, if you want to do kind of a quick turnaround without putting your feet down, on a normal bike you want to feather that clutch and put yourself in the friction zone so you don't have to put your foot down. You can tilt it and lean it, but this bike effectively does not have a friction zone because it's a centrifugal. It's like a two-part clutch. It's got a centrifugal component where as it revs up, it gains. And then also when you shift it, the clutch cable is essentially built into the shift lever. You push down, it depresses the clutch. You push up, it depresses the clutch. It removes the engine, the pieces from the engine there. While we're at it, we might as well do a little bit of a highway rip. So let's go get on the highway and see what we can do with this thing. So this thing is in no rush at all to get anywhere. I'm basically at wide open throttle, still in third gear, popped in the fourth gear, and now I am gonna peg it. And even pegging it at wide open throttle, I don't know what to do about that fire truck. Even pegging it at wide open throttle, I'm barely just now hitting 45 miles per hour. Hey, on these back roads, it doesn't feel bad at all because I'm honestly effectively going as fast as the road can handle for the conditions that we have. But this is it. So if a car does get behind me, you know, luckily I don't have anybody out here, and this is a relatively under-inhabited area. So yes, there are houses and stuff, but very rarely are there traffic jams or anything like that out here. But if somebody gets behind me, I can simply just pull over, pull the side of the road, allow them to pass me. Even here, I mean, there's no passing zone, but I could cruise and wave them beyond me, you know, without blocking too much. Not too worried about that at all. Here I am again, wide open throttle. I'm going uphill, barely able to sustain 46, 47, 48 miles per hour right there. Not really getting much other than that. Now here I am hitting 55, still at wide open throttle, but that's really all I need on this road. I don't need to go much faster. In fact, I'm probably going too fast for my own good. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to introduce you to kind of my new project. I do have some thoughts in the works. I think by the time I end up getting this to be a dream machine, I might have been better off just buying a 300 or something slightly larger, because I plan to possibly put a big bore kit on it, do all kinds of fun stuff with it. But the number one thing that I want to do with this is enjoy myself on it, maybe do a little bike camping. It's got this perfect rack that is just ready to go out and put a ton of gear on it. I think it says that it's rated for 44 pounds, but I see people putting seats on it and putting people in the back of it, so I think it can handle a little more than this rated capacity. But if you like this one, give me a thumbs up, and I will catch you in my next video.